a lot of Europe. Like around this time is when the Aussies start waking up. There's Eastern America, like Western America, different time zones. Yeah. You know, Skog, I was thinking about you this morning because Video Game Donkey now has an indie game publisher called Big Mode. Makes me think of Beast Mode. That'll do. Ding. Gotta just say, I love the artwork in the background of this main menu. Super cool. All right, chat, let's dive back in. Hopefully it loads the right save. All right, sweet. So this was the city that we started the other day. It's on the edge of a big lake. We've got mushroom farms. We just made our first breeder / nursery. We've got multiple other farms along the side here. And then up top, we have even more farms. Kind of in the center, we've got some ration makers. We've got carpenters. We've got housing, more housing, and more housing. We're still working on housing. Housing is a constant battle. We got charcolators. We just got our first tavern / canteen up and running. Happiness is rising rapidly now that we've got a canteen up and running. We're automatically accepting orcs into the city. We're not automatically accepting elves, but I do have a population of them, and that is the current status. Also, we made a small fortune selling various things like cotton, wood, rations are all exports for this little city, and we're going to be continuing. Also, chat room investments are open if you want to invest your tickets. But yeah, if you have any questions about this game, I can do my best to answer. It's a complicated one, but it's not impossible by any stretch. All right, so we do have this first one of these. First ever baby management. We're going to be working on that more. Getting more of those. Also, I think I'm going to copy this toilet. Because I'm thinking they're going to need another one of these, probably. And probably would appreciate having another one. Because currently there's only one toilet in this entire city, which means I probably need more toilets. You know, I saw this thing on Steam the other day called like Evolve or something, and it's just like an organism simulator or like a microbe simulator. So it simulates white blood cells, red blood cells, viruses, that sort of stuff, and you can like mess with it, but also it just kind of simulates. It has no goal. It's more just like a weird like physics simulator, but for just like cells, right? And I was looking at that, and I was like, man, that reminds me of Songs of Six. I was like, it's kind of the way this game ends up looking at a point. Also, I think I need to edit this building just slightly. Let's just put a door right there. And room over structures. Place doorways on walls. I just want to place a doorway right there. That's all I want to do. That needs another door. Trying to get me to buy slaves, which I refuse. I refuse. And also, just huge thank you to everybody who stuck around today. Today's been a fun stream. Good and long. All right, so now we can pile all that extra furniture in there, because we do actually have quite a lot of furniture. But something I'm going to do once this is constructed is we're going to start allowing furniture. You're already loving Odd Realm. It's like riding a bike if you've played Dwarf Fortress and then just fiddling with the UI to figure out how the building system works, but Odd Realm is a neat little game. That's also another game that I've got multiple interviews on the YouTube channel with the dev, too. Immediately had a bandit raid and all your pops died. Huh. That's... Sounds like the demo hasn't been updated in a while. Is my response to that. That's really what that sounds like. I think we're gonna make some more housing down here. Flop walls down there. Delete the doors, space for doors. Fill those in. But yeah, that sounds like a bit of a, like the demo probably hasn't been updated in a while. Especially if it's the itch demo. Somewhere your all or nothing's got to work. My advice is to invest 2. Filling that in. Let's get more people housed. Imagine having that beachfront housing. Lovely spot to live, frankly. Absolutely chill. Now I'm really curious about how old that demo is, because like, that really doesn't happen in the Steam version. But one thing I have to give Odd Realm credit for is that all of the, as obtuse as the UI is, at the very least it has a tutorial, and the tutorial is pretty good for what it is. Does this cover down to there? Yes, it does. Actually, no, it doesn't. Because that's where it covers down to. So, I need a second eatery. That's enough for you to get this game on its merit alone? Why? For just, like, immediately killing you? Like, you'd think that would be a turnoff for most people, but... Hey, if it works. Assuming I still have enough pottery to make another one. 209 pottery, yeah, that should be plenty. Oh, the music's merit. Okay, I was gonna say. Yeah, no, the music's great. I don't actually know who did the music. I don't know if the dev did the music, but the entire game is made by one guy. He does all of the programming, all the pixel art, all the writing, all the PR, manages his own Discord server. He does literally everything by himself, so. Oh shit, we're running low on wood again. I've also lost some more people. Only one, though. What else can I do? So I could make a tavern, but I don't actually think... I have to make a... Yeah, okay. I have to make a brewery, which produces wort, I think? Bubbling wort and distilling vats unlock a blessing and a curse, all bottled into one. Brewery bonus. I can't remember if breweries require other things. Okay, so it does require clay pots. I don't know how many clay pots, though. But that's right near the grain, which is what I think that needs. 5 by 20. Outer walls. Let's just see. What do we need here? $448. Storage. An auxiliary storage? How much metal do I have lying around? Well, actually, hold up. Let's remove this. I'm gonna run out of jobs, though, pretty quick. Or run out of people to work. Got plenty of jobs, just don't have enough people to work the jobs. You have to sleep? You have a good night. Cheers, Alex. Didn't realize you were still chilling here. We'll be on Tuesday. Till then, stuff goes up on the YouTubes. But thanks for chilling. Thanks for spending time here. Do have... Needs 102. How much do you need? 74? Okay, I'm just squeaking by with enough pottery. That needs 12 metal. This one needs 42. So yeah, we're just screeching by. Just barely. But this will hopefully increase the value of this lower region by a bit. Oh no, not a dreadful outbreak of a bad sickness. That's awful. I'm horrified and ashamed. All right, you over here. Access. We're going to increase your furniture access. Which means these guys can now go out and acquire more furniture. Not working out clocking, seems like. Just gonna suspend that job for right now. Finish the other one first. extra workers around. Speed things up. I will say that one issue with Odd Realms music, Soul, is there isn't enough of it. Like, there's a good amount of it, but there could be more. But then again, I guess that's also kind of just how I feel about a lot of games. Games could always have more music. We're literally just waiting on wood. The problem is, a lot of things use wood. Okay, so they all have, almost all of them have access to furniture now. We really need to get those clay pits up and running soon. And the reason we need to get some clay pits up and running is so that we can give my orcs access to clay, because they do love having clay in their houses. They're a bigger fan of furniture, but clay is a bonus. Also, this is going to be a good little eatery, this canteen. So this will be a huge benefit to us. We'll also go through our charcoal that the charcoalator is making a little bit quicker. There's also a benefit. As we're producing it, might as well use it. And there it goes. Yeah, this game is almost a fever dream in a weird way. Like, it's an entertaining as hell fever dream, but it's almost a fever dream. Can I just copy this? There's room copier. Copy area. You know what? Let's copy this. That area too big, maybe? Let's try copying this whole housing block. This is a tool I haven't messed with much, so. Neat. Okay. So let's do that, and then I think that's all lined up. Yes. Not bad. That's pretty cool. That's gonna fix all of the housing issues that we currently have. V quick. Your life is just a fever dream? This game's kind of a fever dream in that, like, a lot of it feels pseudo-realistic, but it's all, like, just weird enough that it isn't. Like, I don't know. There's something about this game. This game's something special. They don't make games like this very often. Or rather, they don't make games like this anymore. It's almost more that kind of thing. Also, thanks for the lurks today, Ryan. It's been a while. Or at least it feels like it's been a while. Granted, I don't know why. I just always feel like it's been a while for a lot of people that used to be around the stream a whole lot, you know? I think partially that's because I, only stream every, well, 3 times a week now. I think that's got a large amount to do with it. Is you're on one screen currently? Ooh, that sucks. That is not optimal. Like, seriously, that is not optimal. More than half of the year, my streams during your sleepy times. By that logic, I'm surprised you're still subscribed, but I can tell you that there will be more streams when Premium is launching. I like that there's already people moving into this building, even though they're not finished constructing it yet. Well, we have a bunch of extra workers about now. We can activate that job now. And also queue up more of these. Get those queued up. That queued up. That queued up. Although looks like I'm out of wood again. Shit. Need that extra wood. 3,304 hours of entertainment. Fair, I mean, I know, but like, tier 3 subs, the big boy sub, right? And, you know, I would say it's like, I don't even play games that you play anymore, but, like, I don't think I ever did. I think you just kind of, like, ended up here via, like, what do you call it? You just kind of ended up here via Kerbal Space Program people and then never really left. There goes the trees. Yep. No, this is a great game if you like to just clear-cut forests. You loved Planco? Really? I loved Planco in theory, and I still love Planco in theory, but it never quite lived up to what I wanted it to be. It's a fun game, though. I had good times. What do you guys want? You guys just want to be allowed to have wood? Let's allow them to have wood. Apparently, that hurts their loyalty? What? Why does letting you have furniture hurt your loyalty? What? Looks like I also need another janitor over here. So, since I make so much money off of cotton fields down here might not be a bad idea. Like these little inner city cotton fields. That's kind of a shame. Oh, I see where I'm fucking up here. It's just too small of a space. Also, Inner City Cotton Fields is my new emo punk band, by the way. We've had quite a few overlaps in games we've enjoyed. Yeah, a decent number. Nothing insane, though. I guess, like, at the end of the day, I mostly just kind of miss, Man, I demolished that janitor. Although I kind of just hope that games like Zero Sievert end up actually being good. So I don't know. I'm still, like, undecided as to whether or not that game will be good or not. But the YouTube crowd seems to fucking love it, so... Actually, yes, I do want to edit you. Want to remove this corner. Oops, nope. Did my removing. You know, it was kind of funny. I was trying to figure out how big of a game Zero Sievert is. And then I realized they have almost 12,000 people in their Discord server. I was like, okay, small Kickstarter. Okay, not a lot of wish lists on Steam. Okay, not a lot of people followed on Steam. Okay. Ugh. And then just like realized, oh, okay, so there is a community for this game. You'll be lurking, Soul. You have a good night. Hey, and we're finally harvesting our mushrooms. Look at that. Look at those mushroom farms. Fantastic. Although the mushrooms go away real quick. To the point where I'm convinced that I need much bigger mushroom farms. But on the bright side, I do have a bunch of extra workers currently. Okay, so. In order to use this, I need clay pots. So I gotta cancel that. We gotta get this up and running. Because this is a big old clay, or gonna be a big old clay pit. So, storage. Flop a big old storage. Auxiliaries. 14 metal. 28 metal. I only have 23 metal. Gets me up to 91%. Okay, I can do it. That's going to require a lot of work. So we'll just let this guy start permitting that. They want clay access. So I'm going to permit them to have their clay access. But that means we're going to have to work into pottery and a bunch of other things. There's also this tiny clay pit down here, but this one's far better. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just like your window into the world of city builders and weird games, Ryan. You have a good night, Mist. Thanks for hanging out as well. Kind of bouncing off what Pablo said earlier about, do you have different shifts for viewers? Yes. I see certain people at certain times of the day and other people at other times of the day. Very much so. Curious about how many workers this is going to use. Hoping that they all just kind of end up moving in down there. As all of those trees get numbed up. Very efficient at it. Good morning, Alistair. I mean, go to bed, Alistair. Also, hi, Alistair. How are you? Have you been here the whole day? Because if so, you know I've been streaming for 10 hours, right? And I might recommend going to bed. I copy this. Two tiles in between. You also headed out, Raz? I'm assuming you're headed off to work. Tuned in a couple hours ago. You've been fishing through data analysis for a presentation for your boss tomorrow, so you've been lurking around. I hope you don't have to be up too early. It's been a long day, that's for sure. Gonna need to make more breeders. Let's get this done first. How many employees does this want? 40? Don't quite have enough workers. All right, well, turn it down ever so slightly. Somebody got injured, apparently. I just found a new screen that I've never seen before, but that's okay. Let's remove both of those. Give you clay. Who cares? You pretty much disappeared for the day as you've been doing it on your home machine, the work one being too crappy for that kind of calculation I'm doing. Oh, fair enough. At the very least, you work a job where you can do that. Let's just build a little road all the way across here. Fortunately, this game is really good lurker food. It's really, 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 really zen and chill. Plus side of being a researcher, nobody cares and you have weird schedules. Nobody cares and you have weird schedules. Huh. Now, is that what your boss would say or is that what your coworkers would say? I mean, don't you ever just get the lurky munchies? You did a hermit start in Odd Realm as your first go. You made it through 15 minutes. Yeah. Now, was that the hermit start, or was that because you're stoned, Pablo? Also, if anybody buys Odd Realm, do me a huge favor and leave it a review. Just saying. Where the hell is transporters and how much are they? Not a huge fan of this UI, by the way. I think it's kind of annoying, honestly. genuinely don't know where the transporters are. Oh, there it is. For real? It's paved roads, logistics, transport. God. All right, well, you know what? Warehouse. I'm just going to make a small clay-only warehouse. We're going to have to go pretty far to get to it, but they can suck it. You know what? They'll be fine. This doesn't need to be that big. Just needs to be for clay. Because you don't see things in your inventory unless they're in a warehouse. You should probably use nights for sleeping instead of coding. Well, I mean, if you're not on like a strict schedule, who cares? You use the time that you feel the most comfortable for the thing that you like doing. Seems like workplace satisfaction and happiness is probably more important in my opinion, but... But I would generally agree with your boss. That's probably a good idea for you to use some of that time at night for sleeping instead of just coding. If you can do both, then I think that's a benefit, but... Certainly do think it would benefit you to sleep at some point. Also need to make another wedgeable farm. Oh, well, that's part of the reason. As much as I like this brand new clay pit that I made, finishing this up and keeping those vegetables farmed is much more important because without vegetables, the babies die. And infinite starve to death is not exactly a pop-up you want to get in any video game. Even if it's hilarious when it's The Sims. You'd like to show up in the morning tomorrow? You have a good night. Thanks for swinging by, Alistair, and saying hi. Hopefully Jess's internet works on another day. All right, this is literally just for right now. Gonna store this, all that. There we go. Some things are starting to get moved. I love this one guy just like sleeping in that puddle. Taking a good old dip in the pool. So I guess this is going to be like our clay pit industry up here. Also, I'm curious. Knowledge, infrastructure. What do I have under health? Hygienes is just lavatories. Leaders, speakers, mass graves, hearths. Also, the term aquitecture will never stop being amusing to me. Let's get another farm here. Let's do another 30 by 30. They didn't show up to fix your internet today? No! Also, chat, if you guys could say goodnight to Alistair, that'd be rad. Yeah, I don't envy being in the area of the world that Jess is. Internet service is not brilliant. We're talking to... You know, I complain about my internet service here, but at the very least, it's not the sort of stuff she has to tolerate. Mine just, like, randomly disappears once every 8 months for, air quotes, scheduled maintenance that they definitely didn't tell me about. Which... probably, honestly, usually my fault, because I probably, honestly, could have figured out that it was happening, but... just completely miss the memo, usually. This is one of my favorite parts of this game, is, like, moving water around for fields. I fucking love that the game lets you do this. Still playing, Ken? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we've only been streaming for 10.5 hours, so... yeah, she has it pretty bad. Yeah, it sucks. It's worse, especially, like, when you depend on it for your living. But I digress. Oh, there's plenty of mods, Kit. All on the Steam Workshop, though. There's new races, and there's a cannons mod, which seems kind of rad. But I think active development makes modding any game difficult. Because you have to constantly upgrade your game to, you know, or upgrade your mod to support new game features and whatnot. Is never a super easy thing. There we go. Like, I would love to see a Hive World overhaul mod for this game. Like, just let me go full Necromunda on these tits. That'd be fantastic, but... I just don't see it happening. I'd be here for it, though. No. Not really. Nothing requires Z levels. In fact, I would almost argue that Z levels don't. You know, I realize this is like a sin for a Dwarf Fortress player to say this, but I don't actually think that Z levels improve every game. And also, far and away, not every game requires Z levels. I don't even know what opiate farms are for, but I'm going to dig one because apparently there's a bunch of... Well, I mean, I know what it's for, but I just have a bunch of opiate around here, so might as well, like, make a farm for it. Worst case scenario, we sell it. I don't think you'd need it. That or just go full Hive World or whatever. I just want to build huge 40k trains in a city builder like this. That's all I really want. That or someone needs to just make a Hive World mod for Factorio, but that probably already exists. Although I wouldn't want to play it because then I'd have to play Factorio. Sweet, we actually have an opiate farm up. Look at that. Don't know what we're actually going to do with that. I'm assuming it's used for the physicians. But that's just an assumption. So I don't actually know. Well, their loyalty is still 82, meaning we are still getting migrants from them. Just lower down the number of workers on this until I actually, you know, have workers. Oh, they're still working away at this tiny little island out here. Come on, lads. Oh, I see. They don't quite have enough access to furniture. Okay, I expanded housing faster than I should have. I need to make a different shaped toilet. Let's make a smaller toilet. Let's do 10 by 7. Let's do a set of latrine. Or rather, yeah, set of latrine. Problem is, yes, I'm out of furniture, so this is actually going to take a little bit to put together. Yeah, and also, like, I think the most fascinating aspect for this game, for me, is the obsession to detail that it has, because it's absolutely obsessed with its little details. But, like, you can also ignore a lot of the details if you want to. And the game plays just fine. It's got that lovely, it's as deep as you want it to be kind of feeling, you know? Ah, it's gotten... I completely disagree on the banished vibe comment. But I think I tend to feel like I've played Banished more recently than a lot of people. Whenever people compare things to Banished, I always feel like I've played Banished since. Or maybe I just played it more. I don't know. But and I also play a lot of games like this, so... Wow, 99% fertility? Jeez. I mean, sure, but that's just called the city, like the city builder or colony builder genre. Like, that's not a unique thing to Banished, I guess, is my, like, annoyance with that, with saying everything is, like, Banished. It's like saying every single real-time strategy game is like StarCraft because you build units. It's like, well, I mean, no. Mechanically, it's totally different. Vibe, it's totally different. Visuals, it's totally different. Gameplay, it's totally different. Depth, it's totally different. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of like, this game is essentially just SimCity because there's people running around, right? But, whatever. I digress. It's all just semantics at the end of the day. I'm trying to think, who else could we bring in? I think about bringing in some humans. In fact, I'll auto bring in humans for a little bit. We need extra hands. Humans are pretty good for what we need. Problem is they're going to be upset for a while. Speaking of, do you guys want anything for your housing? Want wood. I can give you access to wood. I can also tell our hands to fell trees. You can't stand StarCraft or Warcraft? Fair enough. I can't stand Banished, so whenever people are like, man, this game is Banished vibes, I just feel icky, so... Because it's like, oh man, why would you insult such a good game like that? I personally feel that Banished is really bad. Hello, Crazy Star. Yellow. Is this RimWorld? You can answer that on question based on the XD. I mean, not the entire area. Just this one tiny corner of the map. Like, the map still got all of this forest left, so... Ah, no, I mean, clearly, actually, I don't even know where I was going to go with that. I was going to say this game's exactly like another game, and then I blanked. I mean, this game's clearly exactly like Pharaoh, which is actually, like, a better comparison. But, you know. Feels a lot more like the Impressions games. Although stating that, like, you're somebody who even knows what the Impressions games are in the current year is, like, almost like saying, ah, yes, I am a man of culture. Colonize the whole map? It's an empire builder. You want your population to go up. As your population goes up, it gives you more options to do weirder shit. So our next unlock is at 500 peoples, but eventually you want to start taking over the world map. Where's my capital? There it is. So this is us. This is our little region. Eventually we're going to want to take these guys. Or go here. Or take one of these towns. Or murder these guys. And the combat in this game is kind of like a simplified... As of the last time I really messed with it, it was a simplified kind of Total War style of combat. But this game's also very early access, so a lot of features are like half implemented and don't work properly. But it's primarily about like balancing the inner politics of your city and keeping the residents from killing each other. With then the added addition of the kind of empire management stuff on the wider scale. With scaling? As in, like, continuing to play them? I mean, it's not for everybody. I'm not, like, going to recommend this game to anyone. If this looks like a game you want to play, you play it. I enjoy the hell out of it, but... Alright, let's increase the number of people working in this. Increase the number of people working in this. Increase the number of people working in this. Speaking of Pharaoh, I'm very excited for that Pharaoh remake. I really wish that they could use that road that I gave them instead of, you know, running along the water. Water's faster. I didn't want to build a fence, but they're making me. You need an update where you build boats. Many games do. Investments are open, chat, if you want to invest your tickets. Turns out letting humans in has pissed off the orcs. Go figure. Well, bright side, humans are stupidly happy here, so I guess that's good. That'll be plenty of works. They're mostly annoyed because they're no longer the majority. Fine. Pesky orcs. Big old whiny babies. Copy area. Nice. That's not. I want a room copier. Yes. But this will multiply the orcs quicker. And also give us a lot of jobs. Makes everybody happy. Okay, maybe not everybody. Makes some people happy. But yeah, this is, honestly, that's the best comparison for this game, though. Any of the Impressions games. Because that's the dev's main inspiration, is that and Dungeon Keeper. And Vongers! Jeez, you don't see people reference Vongers very frequently. I quite like the graphics in this game. I think that they're oddly hypnotically beautiful. I feel like people either love the visuals in this game or absolutely despise the visuals in this game, and there's like no in between. Everybody loves There's two kinds of people on this planet. Those who love Dungeon Keeper and people who haven't played Dungeon Keeper. I hate to break it to you. I know people like you don't exist, so you don't exist now. It's fine. Oh, wait, never mind. I thought you were talking about Dungeon Keeper. That's fine. I kind of love the way this game looks, so. Dungeon Keeper's of Deeper Dungeons expansion. Okay. Yeah, I have like no hard copies of games anymore. I got rid of them all a long time ago. Still have some stuff for the old Super Nintendo, but that's just because those are more family heirlooms than anything at this point.
Sing a song of sixpence.
Chat, can I get a round of beers for Arch keeping that sub alive for 25 years? Thanks, man. Chat, can I get a round of beers for Arch being cool and stuff? 25 years, man. Jesus Christ. Getting old. 2 feet in the grave already. I can feel my back cracking. That's not even a joke. That just happened. Raise your bird glass, sir. Go to bed, Alex. Didn't you say that you were gonna go to bed like 45 minutes ago? Or am I going crazy? Swear that you said, oh, you are in, okay, you are in bed. Fair enough. I stand corrected. Let's get pottery. Yes. Also masonry. Also boyer. Chat, we're gonna make pottery. I'm very funny. I pretend that you guys like my jokes. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Alright, let's just do 16 by 7. We don't need the extra roof bits. Bloop. $29, 100. It's easy enough. Can't leave me now. Yeah, you can. Wise. I'll actually get some sleep. Man, those dudes are pissed. Kind of tempted to put the humans back onto auto accept. It depends on the game. I mean, I stopped buying Nintendo consoles years ago for that reason. Well, actually, for a variety of reasons, but that was one of the reasons. I'm at a point in my life where it's like, if developers support those kinds of practices, just don't support those developers. Just fuck them. They can just get wrecked. That's totally fine, and I do not care. And I encourage everybody else to kind of, if you find something where you're like, man, I don't like this business practice, don't fucking support it. Life will be better. Bam, 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 bam. And there we go. Potterer. Is potterer a word? Guess it must be. Anyways, these guys are going to produce pottery, so we're going to lower down this just a tad. Shush. I don't care if people got hurt. I also just realized I fucked up. As I built on top of a pottery mine, of a clay mine. Admittedly, this is the crappy clay pit. This is the good clay pit. So, and perhaps I'll build another one later. Always move it. They're actually called potters. That's what I thought. But, honestly, I feel like this game just, invents words. Like, it's very much seems like the sort of thing that the guy making this game would do. He just invents words for reasons. One typo, game bad. Oh, I found some pretty egregiously bad typos in this game. I actually spent a day once just kind of going through and DMing the developer of this game typos, and he just kept responding, fixed, thanks, and he hot fixed the game like 12 times. Literally hot fixed the game, and the patch notes were just various typos. Because I found a lot of typos in this game in the very first early access build. But they've all been fixed, so. Stare at colonial marines. I'm not understanding the reference, unfortunately. Oh, wait, you mean aliens colonial marines? Oh, right, yeah, because like the AI was busted by a single typo in the code, and then mods. Yeah, okay, never mind. I'm remembering what you're referring to now. You know, I gotta say that the harvesting of crops in this game has to be one of my favorite crop harvesting animations in a video game. It's gorgeous. Colonial Marines was a mistake. Yep. I agree. It, like, made me retroactively dislike one of my favorite franchises. Just a little bit more. Which is a shame, because I've got lots of reasons to dislike that franchise already, but it made me dislike it more somehow. Alright, I literally need 4 more people and we get another rank. Go back to selling cotton. Now let's swap this out for... Actually... swap you out for cotton. Because cotton actually sells for a bit. It sells for like 8. Apparently it just doesn't grow in a lot of places in the world. Need one more person. One more. Literally one more. Let me get a rank up. Come on, new game. That's so dumb. Some rando combined with the code and found out what their QA... You know, odds are pretty good. Their QA team found it and knew about it. But I kind of refuse to believe that they didn't. But I digress. Funny part is your ex-brother half-assed for your birthday party and bought you that game for $10. Pretty much like, here you go, happy birthday, I got you something. Ugh. I kind of hate the housing changes, if I'm gonna be honest. I hate them because they're default squares. And one of the things that makes this game cool is being able to completely customize the layout of every single building. I feel like I'm suddenly bottlenecked into specific like looks and styles now, and that kind of sucks. I'm not a huge fan of that. So I'm not a big fan of the housing changes. Like, they're not the worst, but I prefer the old system. The old system was far better. All right, so I've got can activate this brewery now. It's gonna take grain and coal and pottery, which I've got lots of. And they can work. So we'll let that work for a little bit. Inefficient workers allocated. I think I have a place to store it. Actually don't know if I have a place to store it. Don't need to put clay down here anymore because I got plenty of storage elsewhere. There it is. There we go. We got booze! of being, I think it's a really cool mechanic, but I just don't like the current implementation. Like honestly, like that's my take on the housing changes. I think that this, like, them being able to furnish their own houses is rad, and I love it. I wish I had more control over the shape and size. But who knows? I mean, I don't think it's gonna get reverted. I'm sure it'll get worked on, and like, you know, like I was talking about earlier, I am generally not too concerned about how this game changes because I usually just kind of assume that, like, this is rapidly becoming kind of like Dwarf Fortress for me, where I just kind of have faith in, like, the developer. Like, I kind of just have faith in what he's working on, and he probably has better ideas than I do, so I'm sure he's got an idea and a plan for it. Yeah, also, I hope he sleeps. I just want to say that out loud. I really hope the dev of this game sleeps, because, like, when there's a 45-minute interview with him on my YouTube channel where we talk about this game. And he at one point just says, he's like, yeah, I work 7 days a week. I take evenings off sometimes to spend it with my family. And I haven't stopped since I launched the game. It's like he's just in a constant state of, like, absolute crunch. And it's like, I hope that you're okay. I hope that you sleep sometimes. Sleep is good for you. Have I dabbled in Odd Realm yet? I have hundreds of hours in Odd Realm. It's just been a long time since I've also got like 3 different interviews with the dev of Odd Realm on my YouTube channel, and also I'm getting beers with him on Monday. It's gonna be the day I get back from a backpacking trip, so we'll see if I can stand, but so sure, yes, I dabble in Odd Realm, you could say. But yeah, aside from, like, the concern of whether or not the developer of this game actually sleeps, I do have faith in him to, you know, make the right decision, because he's made a pretty fucking cool game with the time he's had so far, you know? Although it's kind of funny, playing this game is I get very similar feelings as I get when I play, let's just fucking make a hospital. Playing this game, I get very similar feelings as I get when I play, or look at Aurora 4X, as in, you can tell that this game is designed by somebody that used to be a software developer. It's like, when you're playing games, you can always tell, it's like, oh, this is a game designed by a game developer. And then you go, oh, this is a game designed by a software developer. Because, like, I mean, all of this shit, you know, like, you start looking at just the way this game is designed, and everyone's like, ah, yes, this was made by someone who worked on spreadsheets before this. Ah, I see. And then also you're reminded that, by the way, this game runs in Java. And then after you're finished spitting out your coffee and screaming, what, really loudly, then you go play the game. Can I just skip the physician and make a hospital? Requires tools? Tools and cloth. Okay, so not really. Don't have cloth yet. I just learned that pressing P pauses the game. Fascinating. I don't know why I'm like pleasantly surprised by that, but I am for some reason. This requires tools. Guess we're importing tools. I don't know. Yeah, he also made Dwarf Fortress unplayable for me for almost a month because it made the community so fucking insufferable. Happy that Storm blew over, though. It's nice when he reviews games because they get traffic, but I fucking hate it when he reviews games I like because it wrecks my chat for months on end. All right, you do that, do that. Those fences are helping a lot. Although it always throws me off that spacebar doesn't pause this game. Like, yes, why use P when one works just fine, but man, God, I wish that spacebar paused this game. Really kind of actually bothers me that it doesn't. But, you know. I could rebind it, but that would be effort. Yeah, no, I tend to agree. The thing is, though, like, speaking with Brian Becklew, who goes by Normal, who's programmer on Caves of Cud, they were able to hire 2 more team members on full-time and speed up development of the game considerably because of the sales that they got from that review. But they still haven't made their Discord public after all that because of the amount of trolling and like direct harassment that they got from it. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't respect people that attack their community or that weaponize their community, which that guy does quite frequently. Just professionally, like as somebody who works in the content industry, admittedly at a much smaller scale, but I don't respect anybody in this industry who attacks people with their community. It just sucks. But games need to make money at the end of the day. Sometimes you gotta sell copies of your video game, even if it's to people that suck. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the Caves of Cud Discord. I still see that shit. So yeah, I need to play more Caves of Cud. That game's wonderful. Yep. Capitalism. Sweet, sweet capitalism. As a wise podcast host says, fuck capitalism. Go home. I just noticed, by the way, that Russ Money rated Mist Runner, which is awesome. That's fantastic. So fucking community member of my chat, Mist Runner, now has like 100 viewers. I'm pretty sure this is like his 3rd or 4th time streaming ever. But that's awesome. Shoutouts to Russ. Fucking mad lad. Very bad at it because you're impatient in the mid game of proper roguelikes. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if you just want to experience CUD, the Wander playthrough style is actually very compelling these days. Just being able to save at towns and not worry so much. But like, I do also understand the lack of desire to turn the difficulty down and such. I will say properly learning CUD is exceptionally rewarding, though. Being good at CUD makes you feel like a fucking wizard. That's a phenomenal video game. I'm going to take the opportunity to quickly shout out, though, if you're looking for a roguelike that's much shorter than CUD, I highly recommend Jupiter Hell. That game's fantastic as well. Kind of just walked into Slog's line of sight the first time I made it to his boss room, and you got lucky that he wasn't standing. The last time I played Caves of Cud, I got blinded as I fell into Golgotha. And got fucking two-shot. I was like, well, great. So I was a squishy Esper, and I just fell into the water, and then pff, dead. Okay. Didn't even see him. I just dead immediately. Which is, you know, ironic because it's me getting blinded, but... As chat said shortly after it happened, well, at least nothing changes. Once was, always was. Great. Thanks, guys. So we've got more wood stoves, more wood fires. Let's kind of want to chuck a speaker up here, but I also kind of don't want them hanging around up there. Do I have one of these down here? Yes, I do, but nobody really actively hangs out around it. Put one down there. Make another kind of little plaza down here. Is a Birdman gunner, lots of running away and shooting. Yeah, I really like playing as squishy espers, lots of mind powers and fun stuff like that. More dreadful cases of white shimmer. Just need some more tools imported, seems like. Not inbound. Oh, no. No, at least my meat and cotton are selling for a lot. Well, I suppose I could just build a second brewery. I'd have plenty of, I'd have plenty of stuff to keep that up and running. There we go. Population just jumped up a little bit. If we can just increase the accessibility of alcohol. Don't know the name of that building. Infrastructure, assuming it'd be under entertainment. Nope. Oh, tavern. Not unlocked. Let's go unlock taverns. Yeah, I beat ADOM once, the free version. I never beat the Steam version, or I bought the Steam version, but barely played it. But the one time I did beat it, I cheated. It was a very much I'm going to play this legitimately. And I did for right up until the end. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to save. I think I'm just going to be a big cheater. And I did. And you know what? Not sorry. My anxiety wasn't as bad back then, but my god, am I happy that I saved in that game. Let's throw knickknacks in here. It's just a lot of furniture. Let's do that. 104 stuffs. You know, I think I can just suspend this for now. So I got stuff up here that I need done faster. Like that needs to be done faster. Although actually I need metal. This just needs furniture. Okay, instead of tools, we'll do that. Oh shit, we actually got the tools we need. Never mind then. We got the physician done finally. I feel like that game is designed by a person who never designed a video game before. Like, this is me talking about Ultimate ADOM. Or not Ultimate ADOM. ADOM. Which I now always confuse with Ultimate ADOM because Ultimate ADOM is at the front of my brain and awful. ADOM was designed by a guy who never made a video game before and didn't know what the fuck he was doing. And the only thing that he knew how to do was how to add more things that people asked for. So he added things people asked for. And after, you know... And also it was a free game, right? So it's a free game that, and the dev added things that people asked for. People asked for this kind of system, so he made that kind of system. People asked for a different kind of system. Like, we're talking about, like, a free-to-play game, quite literally, that for a while was getting more active downloads than Doom. It was more popular than the shareware version of Doom for a couple of years. Like, ADOM was a fighting force in the video games industry for a while. It just didn't have the staying power and cultural feeling of Doom because it didn't have graphics back then, right? Like, it had no tile set. It was just a ASCII roguelike. So it just kind of blended off into the midst. I mean, I'm too young to be part of that too. I mean, that game was big in 95, 94. I was born in 94. So now it's just kind of a weird curiosity, and like when people ask, they're like, yo, what roguelike should I play? It's like, am I gonna recommend buddy? It's like, if somebody asks me now, it's like, what game should I play? I'm not gonna recommend that you play ADOM, really. Unless, like, you're looking for something that's classic. Otherwise, there's just no reason to. What the fuck happened to you? I mean, seriously. Okay, let's still... Oh. Right then. Well, that's like a weird side entrance into the tavern. Well, for me, actually, usually when people ask for classic roguelikes or games that feel like classic roguelikes, I usually recommend Brogue, actually. Because Brogue is a very modern feeling game while still having kind of the things that's special about roguelikes. We'll see you later, audio. Night, dude. Like, ADOM's maybe a game that I would recommend to somebody who's played a bunch of traditional roguelikes, but is like, I want something new. something different to challenge me, sure, go play ADOM. But I'm not just gonna default recommend ADOM to many people, if anybody even. Kind of weird to me that they haven't built those yet, but unless I'm out of wood again, which I am. Whenever I look at a wooden thing, I'm like, man, why haven't they finished that yet? And then I realize, oh, we're out of furniture. And then I'm like, man, why are they not making furniture? And then I'm like, well, I can explain this to me. Just have to think about it for a minute or three. I'm gonna sell some wheat. Gotta sell something to get some metal bars inbound. There we go. Got them's metal bars in. Love that the human population is rapidly overtaking my orc population. If it's not a traditional roguelike, it's not a roguelike. If it's not a traditional because like you said, classic roguelikes, right? If it's not a traditional roguelike, it's not a roguelike. It's immediately a run-based game. So like, if someone asks me how I feel about Hades, I'll say that's a great run-based action game, but it's not a roguelike. If someone asks me what I feel about Binding of Isaac, I say the theme is disgusting. It's not a roguelike, but it's a fine little bullet hell. Run-based bullet hell. If it's a real-time game, it's probably not a roguelike in my mind. If it's a game with any kind of meta progression, unless it's like class unlocks or like flat variety progression, it's probably not a roguelike. It's not a personally thing. It's just if it goes in any other, it's the same reason we don't call all first-person shooters Doom clones anymore. A Doom clone is Doom clones are now just boomer shooters, or a very specific type of shooter, right? I mean, I just don't like CDDA because I don't like open world survival crafting games, but I'd consider CDDA a traditional roguelike. There's been survival roguelikes for years. I mean, Unreal World is a traditional roguelike, and that's a survival game, so why not? For me, it's mostly just in order to be a roguelike, you have to be a lot like Rogue. And most of the games people call roguelikes are fucking nothing like Rogue. So, to me, it's like, that's just how the language works. If you're calling something that's nothing like something, then what the fuck are you even on about? Alright, so we've leveled up to mayors. Means we get a plus happiness modifier. Which also means I get another noble, but I've only built one noble quarters, so I'm waiting and... Well, I just need to import some more gems, but... I should probably just do. But, I don't know, some people look at me like I'm a crazy person whenever I out that stance, so... But the main reason I'm so picky about traditional roguelikes being the only roguelikes and everything else is just a run-based game is roguelikes are a very accessible genre to me as somebody who's visually impaired. It's a very high skill genre that I can play, right? Like, I can play city builders like this is kind of fine. I can just, like, ingest this. It's like reading a spreadsheet, basically. I can ingest this information. It's not a problem. But, like, I can't play a competitive shooter, right? I have trouble with a lot of action RPGs. And those are genres that I used to love. But as my eyes get worse, those games get harder and harder and harder and harder and harder for me to play. Traditional roguelikes become more and more appealing and more accessible as I get older, even though I've played them more or less my entire life. And so for me, it's a very accessible genre that is being destroyed by a very unaccessible genre. You're older than me? Lots of people are older than me. Age stops mattering on the internet as soon as you're not trying to fuck everybody on the internet. Who cares? But no, I go out of my way to stream and play traditional roguelikes just because it's a type of game that will, as far as I can tell, always be accessible to me. And that's something that I value heavily. I think I need to research workplace safety. What's that? I think it's down at the bottom here. Spoilage, maintenance. Yes. Okay, so we've got maintenance, workplace safety. Stop getting as many injuries. Okay, we finally have enough furniture for this, so we can build that tavern, get it all stocked with booze, and hopefully that'll help general happiness. What if we also sell opiates in the tavern? I'm just saying. I'm sure that would help loyalty, especially if it's free. You have a similar stance on Souls-like games. People look at you weird for defining a feature of Souls games is actually more about the RPG elements and the difficulty, even though is actually more about the... So, to be completely honest with you, I've never finished a Souls game, so I have zero takes on the Souls games. I know that it's a similarly contended genre, same with, like, Metroidvanias. But it's like... I don't know, to me, from a distance looking into Souls-likes, most games that people call Souls-likes are actually just action-adventure games. The problem is people have forgotten that action-adventure games exist, which drives me bonkers. It drives me nuts. It's like, come on, people. Half that shit's just action-adventure games. How's that even close to a Souls-like? I don't even play this shit, and I can tell. Like, when I see games that look a lot like Legend of Zelda being called Souls-likes, I just want to rip my eyes out. It's like, what are you even on about? It's like, I don't even play this shit, and I can tell. But, you know, whatever. But for me, like, the biggest reason why the term roguelike should just be what people who play the genre describe as traditional roguelikes, the reason that's the only thing that should be a roguelike is because I have to explain to people why Vampire Survivors isn't a roguelike on a regular basis. Like, fuck off. Shit's a bullet hell arcade game, if that. Like, sure, just call them Survivors games or whatever. Like, that just give it its own name. Stop calling them roguelikes. You keep calling them roguelikes, I'm going to get high blood pressure and die of a heart attack if you keep at that. It's just an inevitability. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. What's this paper? Paper sells for fuck all. Jesus Christ. Let's just sell leathers. I gotta say, that's really increased general happiness. We're only at 79. Come on, you gotta be going up. There we go. Turns out, having alcohol available makes people really fucking happy. Weird. Am I still broken? No, I mean, nothing crazy has happened since this morning, so no. If anybody's wondering what Pilot's asking about, I was, a retired Navy vet gifted 101 subscriptions this morning. To 101 Dalmatians, allegedly. So if you got gifted a sub today, it was probably this morning by Navy. But no, I'm certainly not broken. Let's just increase all of the worker amounts here. Increase the output. I should just put a big ass brewery right here, right next to the pottery thing. Has the same appeal as CUD to you, a huge open world. You know, honestly, I think that if I could see better and actually enjoyed the camera movements mechanics in those games, I'd probably love the Souls games. Like, genuinely, I think that there, somewhere in an alternate dimension, there is a version of me who can see properly who loves those games. But just big 3D action games are almost impossible for me to play. So it's a shame, really, but I get by. This is becoming like Grand Central Station. On Earth 23, half-blind IRL is living it up. No, totally. I'm just like a famous Souls, like, speedrunner or something. I'm actually just like, you know, in that reality, I'm just best friends with Distortion too, instead of occasionally saying, "Oh, hi, Distortion," at PAX. And he just kind of looks at me and goes, "Who are you again?" I'm like, "Oh, I used to hang out with you and Noir." And he goes, "Oh, okay." I walk away because that's about how much he remembers me. Weaver's unlocked somehow. Still, really? Guess I probably just don't have the money. Probably the reality. But I don't know. Shoutouts to Blind on Earth 23, I suppose. Also, thanks for the host, Arch. I don't know when that came in. Twitch doesn't send notifications for those anymore at all. Bad. Oh, wait, our gem's getting... Oh. Turns out... let's just work towards a hospital. Just simply import the things that we need. Really? Is it literally just beds? Oh, that's interesting. I've never actually built a hospital before, so... not counting Theme Hospital, of course. Because if we're counting Theme Hospital, then yes, I've definitely built a hospital before. Requires 72 tools. Alright, well, how about this? Fucking screw Goddamn gems. Or tools instead. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I go to the tech tree, I like, so the blue, the turquoise background ones are the things I've unlocked. I'm not even like halfway through the tech tree yet. I haven't even started going into like the law or the corporal punishment or like the absolutely fucking bonkers big temples or like the arena that's like, where's the, like the arena is legit like this big. So no, I haven't even gotten started. There's a lot to do in this game, and it's all about scale. I mean, like, if I zoom out, right, like, this is my city, right? This is my city. This is the whole map. So we still have tons of space to build. Can you have gladiators? Damn right. You can make prisoners fight to the death. There's the little arena and the big arena. Yeah, no, this game's kind of rad. Like, it just keeps getting bigger. But, like, actually maintaining your tech tree is a pain because, like, you have to, did I already get a shipment to that? You have to, like, maintain libraries and write down all of the information and then, like, not let the libraries degrade. It's a thing. Except I'm gonna suspend that job. Kind of shocked I still have housing, but I guess I did kind of build a lot of it. Like all of this in the center is housing. Although, honestly, I think that this game's at its coolest when you get to, like, mid to late game. And then shit starts going south. Because when shit starts going south in mid to late game in this, all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, everything's great. And then suddenly, like, half of your city falls over, right? Which sounds awful, right? But actually what happens when half of your city falls over in this game is very quickly you realize, oh, that's fine. We'll just have large dead districts. So you just shut down huge chunks of your city, and then everybody just moves into, like, the small city center or whatever, and then everything on the outside degrades. And then as you move back out and, like, start putting jobs back into action, they start rebuilding everything. It's actually really fucking cool. One of, like, the best experiences I actually had in this game was when, like, the large portion of my city just got absolutely fucking decimated by a very big siege that just wrecked, like, I think I had like 4,000 or 5,000 people, and my army was like 1,000 or so. And I lost a good 1,000, plus they took a shit ton of us prisoner. We lost a huge portion of my, like, it was about half of my population. And obviously we got a lot of migrants back. Like, people started immigrating immediately because suddenly there was housing and work available. But, like, I had to completely downsize my city to only a fraction of what it was previously, which was really kind of a fun experience rebuilding all of that. Also, chat investments are open if you want to invest your tickets. The lost tech degradation. Oh yeah, that's the other thing that happened once when I lost a huge portion of my citizens. I had to shut down all my libraries and all my paper makers and all my schools. And, like, I lost half the tech tree. So suddenly half my buildings stopped working because I had to, like, slowly crawl back from the depths. I mean, this game has good late game already, I would say. But the problem with the late game in this game right now is that it is partially finished. That is maybe the biggest issue with the late game currently, is that it's unfinished. And the reason I say it's unfinished is, like, a lot of the combat stuff isn't done and whatnot. Hey, Orange. Welcome back. So we're waiting on pottery over there. Waiting on furniture in both places. Like, I need to increase the output of my carpenters, which I haven't had to do since the very beginning. So I had a whole bunch of pottery produced, but just my usage overtook the number I was producing. But also another thing in regards to unlocks, I only have 3 of these 6 factions in my housing right now, right? When I start bringing the dwarves in, these guys are going to suddenly start getting pissed, so I'm going to have to like move people around so that we have specific people staying in specific places. And start making areas housing specific so that they don't have to live near each other because they hate each other. Which is also really fun when you have to start doing that. Like, you literally get to... This game does a weirdly, creepy-ishly good job of simulating racial segregation in a way that makes for really interesting gameplay. Could also make for an absolutely insufferable Twitch chat, but fortunately we haven't gotten to that point yet. Yeah, fantasy racism. It's great, as long as you don't say it's great, you know? As long as you don't unironically say it's great, how's that? But it is an interesting gameplay mechanic. In the same way that, like, fucking your daughter in Crusader Kings can be an interesting gameplay mechanic. It's great, unless you unironically say it's great. Being a horrible person can be a lot of fun when it's not real life. Yep, absolutely. No, there's literally like a slider on the school system screen. Not sure where it's hidden. I've found this slider a couple of times. Hold up. Access services. Is it under services? But yeah, when you're I'm not even sure where that menu is. Ah, here it is. Occupation. For orcs, we can either educate them or we can indoctrinate them. Which, by the way, I'm going to start indoctrinating the orcs. You can say how effective and the amount of knowledge that they are provided with, how smart they're kept. Yeah, you can literally balance all of that. Like, this game is maniacal in what it actually lets you do. Or as they say in that one TV show, fucking diabolical. That was The Boys, right? I think that was The Boys. Which is why, you know, that's also part of the reason why the developer of this game compares it to Dungeon Keeper, because he's just like, you know, it's good to be bad. But he wants it to be kind of the humorous it's good to be bad, not like the weirdly edgy it's good to be bad RimWorld kind of way of doing things, you know? Which I'm for, but I think it's a very fine balancing line, and I have a feeling this game will probably step over it at some point and get a bunch of negative press, which, you know, then the game will sell a bunch of copies and it'll be fine. Holy shit, opioids sell for a lot. All right, anyway, we're permanently selling opioids now. By the way, did you guys know opioids sell well? Jesus. I had no idea. I also never looked, but... Yeah, no, that could happen. You could do that. When did I say there was anything wrong with drugs? I'm a legalize all drugs kind of person, okay? Nothing edgy or strange about drugs. Legalize all drugs, especially opioids when they make me money in video games. As I plant more opioids. Not right there, maybe. Put it elsewhere. Any meth head could have told you that. I'm not a meth head. The hell? I smoke weed. I hope I made at least one person watching the stream spit out their water. I'd call that successful humorous whiplash. But also, seriously, I'm shocked by how well they sell. Give you an idea, cotton sells for like 8 a bundle, whereas opioids sell for 80. Yeah, okay, so cotton is currently selling for 10 per bundle. Opioids, it's 84. But I also don't have anywhere near enough to sell, so I have to massively overstockpile it now. Lads, we're becoming a problem. That's definitely what we're becoming, a problem. Okay, so 30 by 30. Boop. Let the problems begin. Yeah, it's definitely for the hospital, and also for the hospitals that are around here. You know, in the next town over that I'm definitely not planning to take over eventually. I tuned back in to catch me running illegal cheese and made it in time for me to say fantasy racism and opioid stockpiling. Hey, man! Then we're gonna go sell some actual drugs afterwards. British East India? This ain't British East India. This is human orc empire. Blarg. Blame the lizard men, okay? They did it. The thing about this game is it actually has lizard people. I can actually blame them. Speaking of nonsensical bullshit, it's time for me to go read some. So hold up. Okay, hold up. Rave righteously like father's electric balls flailing in sadness. God of fish flies under the city lake, filling taxes. Thunder is quacking cacophonous, cuckooing. Yes. Interruptions of cookies causes California, alas, questions qualifications so quizzically. Therefore, semaphore, what the fuck's that word mean, Hex? Anyway, insane inside the ducks. Done. So there's a room in my Discord called the Add a Word Stories room where people just add words that make sentences, and they can make me read it once every 2 hours with that command. It's naval flag language? Okay, I've never even heard. I bet you Navy would know what that is. I mean, there's literally lizard people in this game. These are the lizard people. There's also bug people, these guys, and weird blue giants that are immortal and literally hate everybody. Like, overwhelmingly hate everybody. for varying definitions of sentence. Hey, we try, okay? And I tell them they have to make them readable. They don't always listen. So don't blame me. Anyway, the actual reason for us to be selling opioids is I need to spend a lot of money on... Oh, shit. I accidentally brought a lizardman into the city. Well, shit. All right, well, nobody likes you, so you get indoctrinated. You get no access. Can I not let you have housing? Well, anyway, welcome to the city, bud. I misclicked and let him in. I mean, the bug people? These guys? Well, they're very hateful, angry people that fucking hate dwarves and want to eat elves. They're pretty good at fighting. They don't really like anything involving veggies. Big fan of fish. Big fan of whatever a belt crawler is. They don't like pretty buildings. They want high levels of doom. Basically, they want people to be evil. During the First Wars, the gods of Arminian, the gods of Arminian, the evil one, created a great queen of Argogosh, Shamlor, to do his bidding. She and her spawn serves as shock troops in his armies, so they're zerglings. These creatures were as tall and wide as a longhouse. Jesus fuck. Devastating to the Asturi Alliance. After the Arminians' imprisonment and the slaying of Schmaldor, what remained was the great Argush, and retreated back into their burrows, and their blood watered down over the generations. The Argush living today are nothing like those of old. They are, however, a formidable force on the battlefield, and you should you manage to attract them to your cause. Yeah, they're kind of like Ultralisks, actually. But yeah, no, those are the bug peoples. And then meanwhile the lizard people are just lizards, and then dwarves are kind of just dwarves, and the humans are just humans. And these guys are racist, so you know it's a fun video game. One of my favorite things about this game is I can just blurt out something like, "And these guys are really racist," and be genuinely true in that statement, and people think I'm just being funny. Like, it's like, hey, yeah, these guys are really racist. Anyway, more accidents at the clay pits. Moving on. That's what we built the goddamn hospitals for, you lazy sons of bit. Yeah, the lizard people and the bug people are, like, basically, like, military factions. Like, you bring them in if you want them to put them in your military. I do think it's kind of funny because like every single different faction wants different things that they have access to. Underneath the access menu, you can give them access to furniture, you can give them access to wood to basically like dress up and make their houses nicer. The humans like pottery, so I'll actually give them pottery. But the lizard people want stone and clay. Uncut stone and mud. They make little mud piles. They're very basic. They also only live like 10 years. They're kind of sad, but we've hit bottlenecks with the amount of booze we can create. Oh no, we're also running low on coal. Well, it's time to import more metals. But you know, chat, This has been a pretty good session of this. What have we played? Decent amount of time. Trying to figure out when we swap to Cheese Runner. Some basic Morse code is still in use. I can tell you for a fact basic Morse code is still in use. We need more housing, though. Morning, my petty. You probably already know this, but your dwarf in the fortress died. And Stone's dwarf went and joined the military due to wanting to fight, even though they only have one arm. And Stone has been using your old sword and shield, which I think is kind of adorable. I just think it's interesting they took the whole set. She did, in fact, go out in a blaze of glory. Demons and all that jazz. Bite to the head. Head exploded. Rough times. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Just realized the only homeless dude in the entire place is the one lizard guy. All right, I'll give you some friends. You poor bastard. Also, why do I have so many people that are deranged? Why are they all humans? Why do I have so many deranged humans? I need 700 research for an asylum. But today in this video game, we discovered that opioids sell for a lot of money. That was the important discovery from today. I don't even know why that needed to be a discovery. That should just be a given, but... Why are so many humans deranged? No, it's... This game's full of quotes. Like, this game's causing me to make all kinds of great quotes. Actually, it's because people keep getting workplace injuries. It's not my fault that they're really... Like, wrongful deaths. We got a murderer! Got murdered. Oh, no! I think this guy's sus. Oh, no, he's legitimately putting it away. One legitimate issue that genuinely bothers me about this game is there are... Like, the characters have gender, but they only have male faces. Kind of bothers me. So, like, in this universe, all men have mustaches. Or all humans have mustaches. Even the ladies. I guess. Actually, how much for basic law enforcement? Because that's maybe what we actually need. Is there anything else I could sell? I could sell paper. Though admittedly, I'm a little bit annoyed by how poorly paper sells, but... Because I unfortunately haven't yet grown enough opioids to sell them. We're working on a second farm. of selection criteria for female facial hair to become endemic. Yeah, well, this universe got started early, I suppose. Orange has never used Twitter. That's why he's wondering why so many why so many humans are deranged. It's really a pretty clear answer, honestly. I know you're on Twitter, Orange. I'm playing off your joke. But it's okay. Clearly my humor is far too dense for your feeble mind. Makes sense, really. Sometimes it's too dense for mine, too. I don't know what you're talking about. I never make jokes. Moving on. Is that because you're on Twitter? Ha! Trying to get people to do yes and comedy. Well, I mean, there's so many deranged people because they've heard my jokes more than once. That's why. Could you stop getting hurt, you lazy buggers? Bah! It's actually frustrating. I need you people to stop getting injured. That's why we have so many deranged people. We've got this insane people problem. We need opioids to fix this issue, clearly. Safety? What that? We don't do the safety dance here, I'll have you know. Trying to make a good work safety manager. Oh, you got hurt? Get back to work, you lazy son of a bitch. No, I'm good at that sort of thing when I need to. Come on. This is a video game. It doesn't matter here, okay? I can have fun. There we go. We've sold some things. Well, chat room, I think it's time for us to swap games for the final stretch of the stream. I have a very important question for you, chat room.